to the Old Friends Net. Time for the Sunday edition of the Old Friends Get Together. We'll see how we do here. Got quite a bit of noise on me, static from the warm day, perhaps. This is W4MEC Net Control, Henderson County, North Carolina. The Old Friends Net meets 3 times a week. Sundays at 4 right now, the frequency 3715 plus or minus. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. And this is also the best place to sell gear. Look for something that you might want, or bits and pieces, or some knowledge that you might need to fix something. This is carried out in the amplitude modulation mode only, and everyone is welcome to participate as long as they can generate an AM signal. This net is also carried out in a roundtable style mode where I will take check-ins and get everybody lined up in a seat at the table, and you can make a transmission of your desired length. But keep in mind, please, if we have a long list of 15 to 20 people, some of the longer old buzzer transmissions might make us go an hour and barely get around once. So we'd like to get around at least 2 times, so keep that in mind. So let's see, he would like to join us today. Please give W4MEC a call. Come now.
Good afternoon, Charlie. WA4LLR.
N4LQ.
KZ4B.
WB4NKM. Okay, let's just hope some folks are a little slow on the draw. So far, we've got Dave, WA4LLR, Steve, N4LQ, John, KZ4B, Reed, W2CQH, very weak here, but I think I copied the CQH, Brian, KN4R, and Larry, WB4NKM. Any further check-ins for round 1? Any fills? Anybody here? Somebody I didn't? Okay, so be it. So that'll be our list here. We can get around the what do you call it? The coffee table with this group here. WA4LLR, LQ, 4 Bravo, CQH, 4R, and NKM. It'll start us out today. Let me make a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay. This is our anniversary date, 3/31/2000. Correction, 1996 was the first official Old Friends Net. It was on 3780 kilocycles at 1930 Zulu. And that was a Sunday. So this was very appropriate as exactly the 28th anniversary. The check-ins were K4VWD is net control, W4WZ Joe, KF4GBD, K4HU Harry Mills, W9FHN, and Earl, W4ZEQ. I did not look up the GBD or FHN calls, but I remember FHN, but GBD, I'm not sure what happened to him. And I started checking in a few years later, and I'm not sure. I think they started a Tuesday version of it, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it was around 99 or 2000 that I started checking in, and I didn't know anything about them until I talked to N4YVL, Uncle Dick, down there in Tuxedo, and on 7290, K4 EDK. Talked to him several times on 7290 back then, and he knew about it, and he used to check in here a couple times, and so that's what got me started on this thing. So let's get going here. Oh, happy Easter Day. And John, K1BBC, said he could not be here. He said he was attending a transsexual observation meal in his neighborhood. And I said, no, I don't believe that, John. I really know you're going to a Ramadan meal. I know that's what you're doing. So we'll see what he answers back. So WA4LLR in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEC group, WA4LR. Well, must be following the White House edict. Oh, me, I'm not even going to go there. Good afternoon to everybody on the net. Signals are kind of light. This is probably not the day to run 100 watts instead of 300, but oh well. Dave in Burnsville running ART-13, receiving on an HQ 180 and feeding a horizontal dipole directly. We've got 77 degrees. I'm saying that because one thermometer said 78, another one said 76, so I'm going to split the difference. Beautiful. I think this is the most bodacious Easter weather I've seen in many years. Real good weather this morning for sunrise service, comfortable, just a breeze, and beautiful sky, watching the sun come up. So that went well. Had a great breakfast at church following the sunrise service, and then had a good service at 11 o'clock. What else is going on? Not too much, so we'll go ahead and send it down to Pleasantville. N4LQ, WA4LR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ, and Pleasantville. Yeah, it's 82 degrees here in Shelby, and we were sitting out on the porch, and I got really hot. Got my jeans on, short sleeve shirt though. Just got done washing the truck, and that's always a painful job. Glad to get that over with, and washed the pollen off that part of the driveway so I could drive it back into the garage and close the door. I keep that junk off of it. We're surrounded by pine trees here. Running the DX60, the D104, the horizontal loop, the AL82, and having a good time here. And over to John, who is hereby authorized to make an old buzzard transmission due to the shortage of check-ins. KZ4B, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ in the group, KZ. 4 Bravo. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Just got through eating a monster meal from Longhorn with the family. Love it. Couple of comments. One, I would suggest that shortly we move it to 6 o'clock for improved propagation and less QS Baker, because there's a good bit of that. And of course my next door neighbor's solar system is honking with this nice, beautiful, sunshiny day. Shifting gears, I went to Lowe's to buy some 9-volt transistor batteries. I hope everybody's sitting down. A week ago, they were $10 each. Today, or yesterday, they were $20 each for a 9-volt. Now, this is lithium, not the regular transistor batteries. The lithium batteries now are guaranteed for to never leak, and you just can't afford to buy them, so I didn't. So be advised, if you like lithium batteries like I do, save your money or forget it, and for whatever that's worth. Glad to hear those in here that are in here. Happy Easter to all. And I love this weather. Hope it could go on forever. So, over to W2CQH in the group, KZ4B, over.
He turned it over to you, KN4RW4MC.
Okay, Charlie. Okay, Reed, I heard you some here at W2CQH. And the sunny old Red, Brian, in beautiful Cheryl's Ford, where it's 81 degrees, and just a wonderful day. Lots of nice breezy breeze. Pretty much okay, John, on the night. Charlie, we're anniversary, and I like those calls that you were mentioning, IBL and EDK. I remember them well. So, anyway, I'm on the globe sheet, on the HRO. My HRO sensitivity is down just a little bit, and even on the big signals, I'm not getting much SBR action, so I think it's time to check some tubes here. So, anyway, over to you, Larry. You're coming in good when you signed in. WB4NKM in the group, KN4R.
KN4R, WB4NKM. Thank you, Brian. And happy Easter to everybody. Good signals up here. This is Larry, WB4NKM up in Wise, Virginia. And we've got 70 degrees. Beautiful day up here also. I'm running the Johnson Ranger, driving a AR811 amplifier, running about 150 watts carrier. And everybody's sounding great, no problem at all. Even Reed, I copy you, Reed, S7 up here in Virginia, and copied everything you said up here. Great to check in. I think Cliff said that he was probably going to have some company, so he said he might make it, but I guess he didn't, so I'll have to catch him next time. Dave, the ART-13 sounds good, and Steve, your DX60 sounds good. John sounds like he had a real good meal at the Longhorn. We had a good one here, but it was a homebrew meal, homemade. And that's sad news about the 9-volt batteries. I thought you was going to say $4.95, and that blew me out of the chair when you said $20. So not too good to hear about that. Okay, back up to you, Charlie. You're sounding great here also. Big signal. W4MEC, WB4NKM.
Very good, Larry. WB4NKM and Ill Friends Group, W4MEC. Do you have any others that would like to check in with us? Come down, please.
W4WU, Charlie.
Okay, we got Nia, and we have Richard. Any others?
W1NZR.
Okay, W1NZR. Any more?
for him. We're going to put here WF2U, and then Richard W4WU, and then W1NZR, and then back to me at net control, and see how we go from there. So go ahead, Mayor, WF2U, and the old friend, W4MEC.
WF4MEC, this is WF2U. Good afternoon, everybody. I came in here a little bit late. I came back from camping from a herding farm. Just the radio here. I'm using the little ATMR1 matching receiver. I do the halfway and I didn't even have time to do anything with the antenna tuner. To flatten the line, I'm running into 2.5 for one LWI. Without anything, but it doesn't bother anybody, including my transmitter. So anyway, signals are so sad they're not extremely strong, but everybody Reed was a little bit on the weaker side, like about a 7. So I guess W4WU, Richard, I think that's what you said, Charlie, that I should pass on to Charlie. So you go ahead, and then I'll write down the rotation until my time comes next time. So go ahead, Miss Reed, WRC.
Okay, thanks, Mayor. W4WU in the group. Well, I'm having a real hard time copying everybody today. I don't understand my antenna or what it is, but it sure gave me a lot of grief. Sending us way down. Some of you are real strong. John, you probably the strongest I've ever heard. But comment on the battery, I was online and on the Amplitude, and you can get the batteries quite cheaper on Amazon. Some of them are not brand name, but they're still good batteries. And that's on the local website. I guess that's a short. Charlie, you talking about the anniversary of the today. I've got a copy of the old electric radio magazine that shows all the original members of the old Friends group meeting up at Brandon, and Joe and Lee and several others that I knew are in that picture, and maybe some of you have that photograph too. Looking forward to the luncheon this week. I'm thinking about cleaning out some of the radios I have. I don't know. I'm still debating on it, but I say this quite often. My wife said, "You say it all the time." And I said, "Yeah, I sure do." But I'm really thinking about it. I've got duplicate, triplicate, different radios. So I'm thinking about getting rid of some of those. So if I do, I'll post it up on the list. On the reflector. Also, I have about 10 copies of old handbooks, and I put those up on the reflector as well so that you can see which ones I have. I'll bring them to the luncheon Thursday, and I'm not going to bring them in, so they're sort of cumbersome to carry 10 volumes, that thing inside, and, pay and all that stuff. But they'll be out in my truck if anybody wants them. They're free. They're some of the gym stuff, and just some duplicates I have as well. So anyway, that's the way it is here at Calfest. It's 80 degrees. I just want you to see it. Beautiful day outside. It's a good day to be outside with the plane radio. But anyway, over to W1NZR. I'm not familiar with you, but anyway, go ahead. It's W4WU.
W1NZR, you're W4MC.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Boy, tough conditions today. I'm not copying all that well. And a very good afternoon and happy Easter to all. And Charlie, thank you for running the show here. Copied Steve quite well in 4LQ. I could tell Dave was in there. John, we more or less have a pipeline most of the time, except today. You were up over S9 about, and then went down right into the noise. So, strange conditions. As I commented to Brian a couple of weeks ago, I think I need to experiment with loop antennas to see if that helps with the noise level. Anyway, copied Brian okay, but he was close to the noise. I guess he's hearing me. And nothing from Mir. So anyway, I guess I'm just going to listen out, Charlie, because it's really tough. But thank you very much for running it, and maybe it would be a good idea to move to a little bit later in the day to improve propagation. But anyway, it's still radio and it's still fun, and I hope that a number, if not all of you, will be attending the Raleigh Hamfest this coming weekend on Friday, Saturday. So I'm not sure who it goes to, so I'm going to hand it back to you, Charlie. W4MEC and the old friends net from W1NZR.
Okay, Brown, very good. W1NZR in the group, W4MEC. Any late pickers that would like to join us, come now. Nothing hers, W4MEC and the old friends net. We're good. I'm either having to live with my noise limiter on and getting muffled audio from everybody, which is pretty characteristic of that diode noise limiter in a Mohawk receiver, or turn it off and get buzzed to death from all the line noise out here today. It's only about a S2 level, but it grates on you. And I don't know why, it's 72 degrees here, and I'm not sure why it's running, but there's two things I have dealt with for the 31 years I've lived here, and that is an electric fence snapping every second and a hot tub about 3/4 of a mile away with a mechanical thermostat that arcs like heckin' gone. And most of the time in the winter, I guess it stays on a lot because I very seldom hear it. But in summertime, I don't hear it either. But right now, it's going on and off on this warm day. Not sure why. And I actually went to the house one time and talked to them about it, and they fixed it. And but they had moved out of the house and gone on, and the new owners don't care. So 9-volt batteries. I just checked Amazon. They got a pack of 6 for like let's see, Everready pack of 6 for $22. Some of the off brands a pack of 8 for $9 to $12. So I wonder, John, if you're looking at the price of batteries in the Ace hardware, which has got to be, those batteries are gold-plated with gold-plated terminals, and they come in a gold-plated box. They charge so much at Ace. I've had a hard time finding 9-volt batteries of any kind, and I just bought 2 rechargeable ones off of Amazon that have very good reviews, rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, and I think 2 of them are like $14 or something. And you can't touch a rechargeable for a pair of them for net anywhere. So, but anyway, so you might do a little shopping online for batteries and forget the local purchase. All right, so let's see. Oh, I wanted to mention that George, K4GDN, has got a Heathkit SB100 with the sideband filter in it, and the HP23 power supply mounted inside the SP600 speaker. So that's a nice little sideband CW station. And he also has his 5100 Bravo with the single sideband converter. He's had the 5100B on the net before, and he would like to sell that also. So if you know anybody looking for those 2 rigs, get in touch with George. So we'll go around again with Dave, WA4LLR, and the group W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie, W4MEC. And the group WA4LLR. Well, I figured I'd put a little more fire in the wire. I swapped over to the BC610. So hopefully that will do a little more. Got some wicked QSB up here. Real rapid and a lot of phase problems. But still copying pretty much everybody. And a good deal on the 28th anniversary of the net today. That's good. Steve, glad you got a clean truck now. Yeah, it sounds good. And, man, that's a big price for 9-volt batteries, John. I know you said it were lithium. Dadgum. Oh, me. Anyway, let's see what else. The space weather doesn't seem to be too much of an influence today. The sunspot count 60, the solar flux index is 140, and the K was 1.3 the last time I checked, but maybe it's just the time of day. Anyway, a few items from this day in history. On this day in 1889, the Eiffel Tower was opened. On this day in 1992, the battleship USS Missouri was decommissioned for the second time. Of course, it was the one on which the Japanese surrender was signed in 1945. On this day in 1980, Jesse Owens passed away at age 66. Of course, he won 4 gold medals in the 1936 Olympics at Berlin. On this day in 1918, daylight saving time went into operation for the first time. On this day in 1870, Thomas Peterson Mundy of New Jersey became the first African-American to vote under the 15th Amendment to the Constitution. On this day in 1596, René Descartes was born, French mathematician, scientist, and philosopher, probably most famous for his phrase, "I think, therefore I am." Okay. Speaking of equipment, I'm going to be bringing a RME 4300 receiver down to the luncheon, see if anybody might be interested in it. And I may bring another thing or two. So, looking forward to that on Thursday, Lord willing. So, over to you, Steve. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
Well, WA4LLR, N4LQ. There's going to be a lot of swapping around come Thursday. I think we might get a little bit of rain on Wednesday, but I'm not too worried about it, unless it tries to get my truck dirty. Anyway, yeah, Amazon has ever-ready lithiums for $12, so you could have saved a bunch of money there. Lowe's has just gotten weird. I tell you, every time I go in there, they got something strange going on with their checkout line. I don't even feel comfortable going in there anymore. It's too weird for me. But that's all we got. Let's see. Larry, you had I think for a while there, you had the biggest signal up there from Wise, Virginia. And I looked Larry up on the map. He's at 2,500 foot elevation, and it's downhill all the way to Shelby. So he's got a wide open shot down this way. So that's part of the reason he hears really well. He could copy read, and I couldn't hear hardly anything. I couldn't make out maybe 1 or 2 words, and I switched over to the Drake R8B, and it was a little better. That's a good receiver. Let's see here. I've been looking. I sat down this morning and thought I'd do a little reading. 1936 ARRL handbook I have here, and I was reading up on control carrier and screen modulation and so forth. And back in those days, in 1935, control grid modulation was around, and there was one rig, the Collins 30FX. the 30FX Collins, used control grid modulation. They came out with models after that with a different suffix that had plate modulation, but that first one, it was a dilly. It was 100 watts CW and 30 watts AM control. It was control grid modulation, not screen grid. And they talked about screen grid modulation, but back then they were talking about using a matching transformer on your audio, on your modulator, and modulating the grid through a transformer. And you couldn't get very high modulation, maybe 50% or so is all you could get that way. And it's before the control carrier craze came along in the 50s. So just thought that would be interesting. I can't find a schematic anywhere for that transmitter, for that 30FX, and I've been looking for the manual online, can't seem to find it. Anyhow, let's see, Dave, I'm bringing you the night kits, and Richard, I was just wondering if you're still wanting to get rid of that Sun SDR. You might comment on that, and we might talk about it, I don't know, something to play with. So, looking forward to the luncheon. Over to KZ4B, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ in the group. KZ4 Bravo. Fine business, Steve. Good copy, as always. I'm still voting for moving to 6 o'clock. That just makes things so much better. Enough said. Shifting gears. Brown, good comment. I've got a 375-foot loop, but I'm having trouble getting my AT5K Palstar tuner to tune it. And that is my only inhibition on 80 meters, because I'm sure it would be quieter. Even my, I've got an end-fed, half-wave end-fed, and that's quieter, but the point is it doesn't transmit near as well, and the improvement in the noise doesn't justify using that antenna with the degradation of the transmitted signal. Shifting gears again on the lithium batteries, I'm not looking for rechargeable 9-volt lithiums, just the regular, because they have a super duper long shelf life. And I've got quite a few meters where instead of, just popping off a meter cover, you have to take some screws out and take the meter apart to put the 9-volt battery in. And so I want to put a battery in there and leave it for years without it leaking. And like I say, last week they were only $10 a piece, and this yesterday they were $22 each for the same stinking dang battery. So there must be a supply chain issue. I'm sure the crap's coming out of China, and you know the story. Enough said there. And but if I could find them at $10 a piece, I'd buy them. But $20, forget it. And shifting gears again, Brian, I plan on being at your house at 9 o'clock sharp or
hope everybody's got their eclipse glasses. I went up to the library the other day, and there were several pair there, along with printed instructions of how to use them. And I was thinking, well, put them on, look at the sun, you know. And Dave, I know you're into astronomy and all, and I've got some telescopes here and that sort of thing. I'm fortunate. I think I've seen 3 total eclipses, one in 1970, one in 72. There's an annular eclipse up in the 80s, I think, and then one a few years ago. And we went up into Canada in Quebec in 1972, and we're going to photograph that one. We were ready for it. 1970, I didn't know what I was doing, and we had a little 6-inch reflector and just projected the image of suns out on a target and photographed it. And we didn't know about photographing it, you know, at totality or anything. Just stood there and watched it. So in 72 I was ready, but as luck would have it, we traveled all the way up there, and let's see, 3 telescopes, 5 cameras, or 5 telescopes and 3 cameras. I don't remember which, but a big home-built telescope that I've been working on for about a year. Had hauled it all up in there with a pop-up camper pulled by Chevelle SS396 Chevelle, and got clouded out in the last few minutes. Right before totality, a front moved through. We were right on the bank of the St. Lawrence up there, along with everybody else in the world. It looked like there were people everywhere photographing that thing from all over the world. And so, but the one here a few years ago, I went over to my first cousin's house over in Pendleton, and he was almost on the center line. And I had a Celestron 8, Celestron 5, and digital cameras. We got some pretty good pictures of it. This time with the Corona at Sunspot Maximum ought to be spectacular. We'll be able to go see it. I have a first cousin that lives out close to Dallas, and they're pretty much on the center line, but trying to fly out there. I don't want to drive that far, but trying to fly and haul all the equipment and, you know, all that sort of thing, it'd just be too much. But Charlie, I'm going to check out this time, say 7-3 to everybody. Thanks for running that today. It's been doing a real good job as usual. So I'll turn it over to Brown. W1NZR. This is W4WU.
Yeah, he said he was going to just be listening, but let me make double sure. Brown, you still there? W1NZR or W4MEC? All right, nothing heard. We can do a quick 73 round here and be done right on the money, 5 o'clock. And thanks for everybody that checked in. We'll look for you on Tuesday. Don't forget the lunches next week. 11 o'clock, Golden Corral. And John, you need to go shopping. Wherever they're selling those batteries for $20, you don't want to buy them. You need to do a little more shopping, I think, before you jump there, because they are cheaper, especially the lithium rechargeables and the other ones. Anyway, so let's do the 73 round here. I don't have any other notes. Quick thing, Steve, you might comment. I remember you looking for a Drake R8, but I didn't hear when you got a Drake R8, and you mentioned R8B, so when did you find that? So let's go around. WA4, LLR in the group, W4MEC.
WB4ARK.
You want to let Buddy in?
Yeah, well, and Buddy, go ahead and make a transmission and turn it back to Dave. WB4ARK, W4MEC. We're on the 73 round.
Okay, W4MEC, WB4ARK. Sorry I'm late getting in here today. The weather here is 86 degrees. Been a high, I think, for this period. Totally overcast right now. Very thin clouds, but overcast. And so let's see what else. Somebody mentioned about Dave changing over to the BC610. Well, Dave, when I got in here, I guess maybe you were on the ART13. I'm not sure. But if you were, it didn't improve your signal any. Your signal stayed the same with the BC610. And so I'm using the ART13 today, receiving on the R390A and the horizontal dipole up about 60 feet. So with that, I guess that's about all I can say. And the lithium batteries, yeah, I wouldn't put an expensive lithium battery in anything except a smoke detector or something that I wanted to have it go for a long period of time. So, and I think 10 years is what they, the company that we get our detectors from, USCI, they sell 10-year smoke detectors now, and I think at that point they're pretty much replaceable, the detector and the whole thing. So that's that. So over to WA4 LLR, WB4 ARK, and thanks for doing the net, Charlie.
WB4 ARK and the group, WA4 LLR. Okay, real good. That's interesting about the signal, buddy. Larry made the same comment. And I'm looking at the watt meter. The ART13 was putting out just, well, about 100 watts on the money. And the BC610 is putting out just over 300 watts, just barely. So you'd think 3 times the power would make a difference, but oh well, what can you say? Richard, if you're listening, man, that's a heartbreak. Drive to Canada with all the equipment to film an eclipse, and the clouds move in at the last minute. Oh, man. Of course, you had a good excuse for not getting the pictures. I remember many years ago, my wife and I drove down to Titusville to watch a Saturn launch. And the night before the launch, someone broke in our car and stole all my camera equipment. So I ran to a pawn shop and bought a 8mm, Super 8mm movie camera. And of course, frustrated over the fact that I'd just been robbed and an unfamiliar camera. So we go down to the the river, and the Saturn goes up. I'm filming away, and I get back to the motel and open it up, and I'd forgotten to put film in it. So you had an excuse for not getting the pictures. I didn't have one. And Reed, if you're still listening, you're talking about riding the elevator up the Eiffel Tower. Well, I've walked around under it, but I didn't take the elevator up. I think we were in a hurry the day we were there or something. Anyway, Charlie, thanks for calling the net. 7-3, God bless. Everybody remember the reason that we're celebrating this day. And Lord willing, we'll catch you on Tuesday. M4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Well, okay. It's been a nice net. Appreciate everybody checking in, and hope to see everybody Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Let's see. I will answer a question from Charlie about the R8B. I've had this thing for, I don't know, a month or so. And, yeah, we did talk about that, the old friends luncheon before last, and I had it then. So it's been around here for probably close to 2 months, but it's a good one. It's a pretty good receiver, and of course American made, so it's not a rice box. Anyway, I'm going to have to talk to John about why he put up a 375-foot loop. I was sitting here doing the impedance calculation on that, and it's right around 7,000 ohms on this frequency anyway. Kind of, well, I mean, if you use ladder line, it'll match okay, but I can see why it would be hard to tune. on some frequencies with some oddball lengths of feed line and so forth. It gets a little tough when you have a non-resonant antenna like that. So anyway, that's about it from here. I'm turning it over to John for his final KZ4B N4LQ.
Okay. Oh, God. Hold on. N4LQ in the group KZ4B. I had the volume up too high. Steve, it's real simple. I hadn't figured out how to move trees and houses, and that's the way it worked out when I ran the loop. So I'm going to have to throw a loading coil in there or cheat some way or another to get that sucker to work, because that is a good way to reduce noise, which I have plenty of. And Dave, it's not your imagination. If you heard fan noise on my signal, it's because my AL1500, it's not objectionably noisy, but you can certainly hear the fan, and I added a very feisty fan for to my T150, and that's running as well. The T150, they skimped on the power transformer, so I have the fan blowing on the transformer, and it keeps it quite cool compared to no fan. So, not your imagination. And, let's see, what else was I going to comment on? Yeah, $20 lithium batteries are ridiculous. And it's over 20. But if I can find some for 10, I'll probably spring for them. Because leaking batteries kill equipment. And, you know, you have the other batteries where they guarantee, you know, we'll pay for it if it breaks. I'm sitting here looking at 32 AAA Rayobacks, and the number on the pack for the guarantee, you can't get through. So, you know, everybody's got a gimmick. And you know, life's tough and then you die. So, I guess that's it for me. Charlie, thanks for calling the net. You did a great job. Hope everybody has a great week, and look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday and maybe again on Saturday. And I think, oh, by the way, I heard W4WU, the whole transmission, which is an argument for getting on later. It's all propagation. The sun just doesn't like 80 meters, and that's a fact. So, Brown, I guess it's over to you. W1NZR and you booming in KZ4B, over.
Goes to Reed. It goes to Reed. If you're still there, CQH, W4MEC. I don't hear him. He was pretty strong the last one, so he went on. How about Brian, KN4R, W4MEC? Okay, very good. The KZ4B in the group, KN4R. Well, yeah, the signals are coming up amazingly strong right now. My receiver isn't broken as I thought it was. I'm getting now S-meter readings above S9 here. So conditions are getting much better quickly, which is good. So I'll say 73s, and look forward to Tuesday morning, and also Thursday for some chicken livers. So over to you, Larry, WB4NKM up at 2,500 feet. I just need 2,000 more feet, Larry, and I'd be in good shape. Take it away. This is KN4R and 73s, everybody.
KN4R, WB4NKM. Okay, Brian. Well, you're okay where you're at. I'm sure George can hear you a lot better than he hears me. But it's been good to be in here. I missed the last one by not waking up, and after taking a nap, I didn't get up in time. So I'm glad to make this one. And thank you, Charlie, for calling me. I've really enjoyed it immensely being in here. let's say 73s. Happy Easter to everybody. Good afternoon to you, buddy. I didn't say that. Boy, 86 degrees. You should have a pair of shorts on. And your AR-213 sounds great up here in Virginia. 73s to everybody, and have a good week coming up. WF2U, WB4NKM.
Larry, WB4NKM, and the group WF2U. Well, again, happy Easter, and thanks, Charlie, for running the net, and everybody, most everybody found it really nice and strong. QSD on Reed and Brown. And let's see. Buddy, when you came in, you were pretty strong. You were almost 20 overnight. I think that's true. I'll try to be here Tuesday morning. I don't know about Thursday yet, whether I can make it to the luncheon or not. I'll try. And 73 all, have a good afternoon and a good week in case I don't get to wish everybody a nice day in the coming morning net. So take care all, and Richard, pick it up. W4WU. This is WFTU 73. I'll wait until the end of the net.
I think everybody's gone, but let me double check, buddy, if you got a final word. Okay. All right, folks, thanks for checking in today. We'll look for you on Tuesday. Y'all have a good rest of the Easter here. I got an Easter egg hunt set up, and we're going to just sit down for dinner here in a minute. So good to hear all of you today, and we will discuss moving net back an hour, about a half hour, an hour maybe, and because it did work well last year when we did that. So 7-3 all. We'll see you later. It's W4MEC shutting down the old Friends Net. Bye-bye.